Hello, hello. I'm here today with Jamesa Bailey. Jamesa is a certified pediatric sleep consultant and the founder of Sweet Sleep Co. She is a wife and first-time mom to an adorable little 9-month-old baby boy, Camden, and she works full-time at Planned Parenthood Federation of America. Jamesa, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me, Jane.
I am so excited to chat with you today. So the reason I wanted to have you on the show is because you are a certified pediatric sleep consultant. You work full time. You have a 9-month-old baby boy. Obviously, you have this like really full and hectic, crazy life. What prompted you to want to become a certified sleep consultant?
Yeah, so you mentioned my son Camden. He is a little unicorn baby. He got his first tooth at 3.5 months.
Oh my
And
gosh.
then he also went through 4 months sleep regression. And I was one of those moms that like didn't want no sleep to be my life. So from day one, like we were following wake windows, and like my mother-in-law thought I was just like loony because I would like put him down to sleep every 45 minutes. And then when he turned 4 months, I just didn't know what to do anymore. I had been a part of like different Facebook groups about sleep training, but none of them were really tailored to my child. They were just kind of like this one size fits all approach. And I actually found a sleep consultant named Steffi, who is also a graduate of the program. And that was my first time seeing a Black sleep consultant. And so that's really what drew me to her. And we had a discovery call, and her personality was so infectious that I knew that I needed to hire somebody and hire her in particular. And we worked with Steffi, and she really changed our lives. Like Camden really became such a rock star sleeper. He's pretty adaptable. Like if you kind of do, a couple things with him, for a few days, he picks up on it pretty quickly. And I think by night 4 or 5, he was like going down with minimal crying. We did have a couple challenges with naps, but Steffi was just so great. And so at the end, during our success call, she asked me, she was like, hey, like you know so much about this already. Like I just needed to kind of tailor a program for Camden, but have you thought about becoming certified yourself? And I was like, I don't know. I like talking about baby sleep, but I don't know if I can like do it. I already at the time was continuing to work full time, and then I also had like a balloon decor business, but COVID had kind of slowed that down. And I was like, do I really want to add something up to my plate? And she suggested that I talk to you. And so we talked, and I just really enjoyed the fact that you were a straight shooter. And I really enjoyed that. And Steffi has said such wonderful things about you. And I said, you know what? It really brings me joy to kind of like help people. That's just what I like to do. And I just decided, and I have to be honest, that I talked to you, well, that night, because I actually like booked the same afternoon when we chatted, but I had serious imposter syndrome after I paid the money. I was like, oh my gosh, why am I doing this? Like, I don't know that I can help other families. And I was just like, you know what, you can do this. You can do it. Like, this is your time. And it really has been such an amazing journey. And I really find so much passion helping these families, especially with these little people. It's really difficult to say, see you later to them after our 2 weeks of working together.
I love that. First of all, you said so many things that I want to touch on. First of all, I love that Steffi, who helped you, she's a certified sleep consultant that took my program, Center for Pediatric Sleep Management. I love that she calls the final call a success call, first of all. Like, I'm going to borrow that. I love that. I love that she calls it a success call. I love that she sort of, she like found you, she sort of like plucked you and said, you're going to be good at this. I'm sure, I know you said that you felt like you had imposter syndrome. First of all, we all have that, right? Like we all have that, but the fact that she knew that you would be good at this and she put you in touch with me, I think that that's all so great. And I love that you're getting so much, it seems like you're getting a lot of joy and a lot of satisfaction out of the work, which for somebody who works full time, has an infant at home, like you have to love what you do if you're going to add something extra onto your plate, right? It can't just be work. It has to be something that really lights you up, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So one of the objections that I hear all the time from prospective students is that they just don't have enough time. And this is why I wanted to bring you on today, because there's no way that you have enough time, right? Like
Yeah.
nobody, like if anybody doesn't have enough time, it's you, and yet you've figured it out. So what does that look like for you? Working, caring for your little one, just being a present member of your family,
Yeah.
and then also getting this small business off the ground.
Yeah, it's a lot. But as I mentioned, I'm kind of used to juggling things. So even before I got certified, I had full-time job, wife, mom, and my balloon decor business. So I always kind of do, my coworkers call me the queen of the side hustle because I'm always finding something new to do. And I'm just a strong believer that people make time for what they want. And you said it perfectly. Like, I don't think of the sleep consultant business as solely my business, right? Like, I'm so passionate about it, and that's what makes me find time for it. I think two things help me tremendously. One, I have an extremely supportive husband. He's also working from home, so we're extremely privileged to be able to work from home during this pandemic. And two, my son is a rock star sleeper. It's so great. So I typically start my day at 7, which is when I wake Camden up. And he's so funny and bubbly. He's in a lot of my social media content. So I pretty much spend the morning kind of hanging out with him and doing social content. So I recently learned how to do TikTok. I'm the worst millennial. Like, I refused to be on TikTok during the pandemic because people would tell me that they would be on for hours. But I was like, okay, this is trendy. Like, I have to do TikTok. And then at 9 a.m., I kind of log on for work. And I'm at work all day. And then at 5 o'clock, I have my discovery calls. I have my success calls. I have my consultations. And I stop that for a brief pause around 6:30 so that, we can have dinner as a family. And then we put Camden down for bed at 7. By 7:30, he is in his crib, and I am back online doing discovery calls, doing consultations until about 9. And then after that, I have stretched my bedtime. I used to go to bed around 9:30, but now I'm closer to 10:30. And my husband and I just kind of relax because it's really important for me to remember us and also remember myself. A lot of times I overly emphasize me time that doesn't include showering because that's basic hygiene. Like, that's not me time.
Right.
And that's really important to me too. So I make sure that I have me time kind of after I put Camden down, and then I have kind of hubby lovey-dovey time. And again, I'll do my TikToks after Camden is asleep, and like my husband, he, gives me a yay or nay to the content. And then I start all over again. It's just, it seems like a whole lot, but because I do it every day, it kind of falls in place. It doesn't feel like a lot, especially because, like I said, I really enjoy working with the little people and their families so much that it doesn't feel like an extra job.
Yeah. So what about all that time in the middle of the day when you're working, like when you are working your full-time job? Do you have the flexibility? I don't know. Actually, I'd love to hear a little bit about what it looks like for you to support your clients, because that might look different than what it looks like for me, because this is my full-time job. So I am in touch with them as necessary during the 9 to 5 business hours. Are you available via text message or email as necessary for your clients during the day? Or are you really having to draw a more firm boundary from like your full-time job to, your side hustle?
Honestly, I think it depends. So depending on my client, I check in every morning before 9, and then I check in around bedtime. A lot of my clients do go to daycare, and they are fine sleepers at daycare. In the instance that someone needs me, if they're home, like, they can text me, absolutely. My job is not where we have to be on it from 9 to 5 every day. If I have to step away for 15 minutes, like, it's totally fine and flexible. To where I am able to kind of take time to answer any emails or hop on the phone to do some quick troubleshooting. They do give us that grace for sure.
That's awesome. And I think what it sounds like hearing you talk. I imagine your setup is similar to mine. I find that if you send a really thorough and thoughtful sleep plan, if you send a really, really solid sleep plan and you get on a phone call with the family to answer all of their questions and to really get them to a place where they're comfortable with the strategies, then they're not texting you all day long. They're not
Absolutely.
needing so much input during the day because you've set them up for success in the beginning. Do you find that that's the case?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I am extremely detailed with my sleep plan. My sleep plan is about 15 pages long.
Oh my gosh.
And
Okay.
it's not all text. It's just, obviously graphics and things, but I try to explain everything. And I try to go over what they can expect or what may happen during our time working together. I even explain the different cries. I just try to mimic them. The number one thing that folks need troubleshooting on since I've started is naps. Naps are always more challenging. Bedtime sleep, these children are so tired. I just think about the end of the day, they're just all right, okay, go. I'm going to go to sleep. But the naps are where most of those kind of troubleshooting emails and texts come from, which is, not the easiest fix, but also a pretty, easy fix. But that's where most of the troubleshooting comes. But like I said, I do an hour for the consultation, and I don't rush that hour. I want to make sure that they understand exactly what it is that I'm recommending. I want to make sure that they feel comfortable and that they have the tools to be able to do the thing. I don't know if they actually read the plan, after I
think they
it,
do.
So I make sure.
I think they do.
I hope so, but I make sure that I go through every little detail and make sure that I answer any questions. But it's still, I do offer troubleshooting calls in both packages as well, just in case there is something that happens that is outside of that package, just so that they feel comfortable moving forward.
Yeah. So let's shift back to the business side of things, because that's what I'm super focused on. I love supporting families. And I think that that's why we get into this work, right? Is because we have a passion for supporting families through the stuff that feels really hard. But at the end of the day, we're not doing this completely for fun, right? We're doing this because we want to turn a business, we want to turn it into a business and earn a living, right? So that being said, I know you've only been in business for about, what is it, 3-ish, 4-ish months? It hasn't been too long, but do you have any goals that you've set for yourself for the next 6 to 12 months or even beyond that? What do you envision your business looking like down the road?
Yeah. So I set an intention for myself that I would have 7 to 10 clients a month. And I feel like I kind of lowballed myself because as of January 10th, I had already had my 5th client for the month.
That's fabulous. Oh my gosh, that makes me so excited. I love that. Good for you.
So, I think I may need to bump that number up to 10 to 15. I do not plan on leaving my full-time job just yet because I really do love the work that I do. And, just between you and I, they do have great benefits, that they just out of this world benefits that I really need, especially.
And it doesn't need to be all or nothing, right? You can have your full-time job and you can get joy and financial success and all the things that you want to get out of this and still keep your full-time job. I think a lot of people think that it has to be all or nothing. And it doesn't. I think that we have certain compartments in our life that are for certain things. And even if you were staying in your job, it sounds like you actually like your job, but even if you were just staying in your job for the benefits, that counts for something, right?
It's okay. Yeah, for sure. And there are moments, when I don't feel as fulfilled at work, especially doing the work that I do. We're constantly under attack and just always in defense mode. And so while my sleep consulting company is a business, it also is that passion that fuels me outside of when I don't find that joy at work, because some days are really hard. And that's not to say that I don't have, challenging days with the sleep business, but the rewards are so much more, they're so much quicker. And it's so gratifying to one of my moms this week, she texted me, "Oh my gosh, I never thought I could do that." And I was just like, this is so amazing. Like, it just almost had me a tear. She was like, "Oh my gosh, I've never seen him do that." And so that is the joy that kind of keeps me going. And I am a big, big, big fan of the word "and." Two things can be true at the same time. Like, I can work full time and I can have a really successful sleep consulting business. And that is the goal this year, is to take it as far as I want it. I also really, really want to partner with brands. So I'm actually about to, this is a sneak peek, there's an author of a children's book called Brilliant Brown Babies, and she and I are going to be partnering on a giveaway for Black History Month. So I'm really excited about that. I've been like tagging all of the big baby brands and like trying to do more partnerships with them to obviously, grow my business, and also to just gather more social media presence. So I'm really excited about growing the brand this year. That's really the goal.
That is really exciting. I am so proud of all of the things that you're doing. Like, you've done it in such a short period of time. It's nuts and it's inspiring and it's awesome. I love it, which actually leads me to my very next question. I was thinking about, before getting on this interview with you, I was thinking about all the questions I was going to ask you. And the one big question that I have for you is that, like, while I knew the second I met you, the second we got on Zoom, I knew that you were a star. I knew that you were going to be successful. I can see this stuff coming from a mile away. I know who the 10s are, and you're one of them. And
thank you.
but what is that? Like, how do we pinpoint that? Like, what is the difference between somebody that's just going to make it and somebody that's not? What does it take to be the person that, no matter what, figures it out? Do you know? I don't even know. I just can see it, but I don't know what the answer is.
You know what? I thought about this as you were asking. The only thing I can say is I am a hustler, and not in like a shifty way. But like, if I have my mind made up about something, I'm gonna do it. And even, like I said, I was going to bed at 9:30, and one night I couldn't sleep, and I was just strolling on Facebook, and I am always in mom groups. Like, those are where I get most of my clients. And I noticed that right around that 9:30 to 10:30 time frame, most of the posts are sleep related. And so I'm just like messaging folks. Every new follower that I get on Instagram, I message them if I see that they have a little one, or if they have like mom in my bio, and I immediately say, "Thank you so much for the follow. Are you in need of sleep support for your little one?" And people, I don't even wait for them to reach out to me. Like, I reach out to them and just say thank you. And I've gotten so many clients that way too. They didn't actually message me, or they didn't click the link in my bio to schedule a free discovery call. I actually messaged them. And so for me, it's just, listen, like, I'm really passionate about this. At the end of the day, it brings money into our home that will help us to grow our home and take care of my child and set him up for a future. I have to do any and everything that I can to make this really successful. Even with the children's books, I did a reel where we highlighted some of our favorite books, and it's been played over 7,000 times. And I made sure to tag, some of the authors, and, I slid in their DMs too, like, "Hey, do you want to do a partnership? Like, do you want to do a giveaway?" I just, obviously, I do believe in the word no, because I have a child and I want him to know that no means stop. But when it comes to business, like, I don't want to hear the word no. I will do it. I'll tell you the funny story. One of the other sleep consultants and I were talking about the Hatch machine, and how we love Hatch, and how they pretty much, they don't share your stories or anything. Like, they don't engage as much on social. I got a message back from them this week, and I was just so excited, because I was like, you know what? I don't want to hear that they don't do this. Like, I'm going to wear them down. I'm going to keep going until I get the results that I want. And I think that really is what the secret is. I'll also say that I really like to tell my potential clients that I'm a mom too, to a little person. And I can see like this kind of weight lift off their shoulders when I share that with them. Because I'm not just talking the talk, I'm walking the walk as well. And I'm really proud of that. And I think that's another reason behind my success is that I do have a tiny human who I'm actively, going through this sleep journey with. And I think that makes me a little bit more relatable to most parents.
Yeah, I think you nailed it when you were talking about the hustle. I think you're right. At the end of the day, people think that things should come easily. I see this both in my journey that I go on with my clients. They pay me to help them sleep train a baby. And I think that they think, oh, because they paid money to an expert, that it's just going to be no big deal. Like almost like spending the money is the hard part. And that's actually not true, right? It's the actual work that has to go into it. That's the hard part. And then I see it also with those that are interested in becoming sleep consultants. I think that sometimes, I don't know if it's a generational thing, but I come across a lot of people who have sort of like shiny object syndrome. Is that what it's called? Where like, you just get excited about an idea and you think just having the idea is good enough. But having the idea, let's just say to become a sleep consultant, that's not good enough, right? In order to be successful, you have to get out there and talk to people. I love that you said that you reach out to everybody that follows you on Instagram. If they look like they're a mom, they have little kids in their pictures. I think that that's so brilliant. I do that, maybe not even to that extent, but like, good for you. Maybe I should start. I'm learning from you too today. But I do that in my world, when it comes to connecting with those that are interested in becoming sleep consultants. When somebody joins my Facebook group, becoming a sleep consultant, I reach out to them. I send them a message like, hey, thanks so much for joining this community. Is this something that you've been pondering for a while? Is this something that just looked interesting to you, right? Like starting a conversation and getting to know that person on a personal level and figuring out what it is that they need so that you can support them, right? Like it's impossible for us to show our value if we don't know what that person is looking for. So sometimes it's like so simple just to reach out and say like, hey, what is it that you're struggling with? And then here's how I could help you, right? It sounds obvious, but I think for a lot of people, it just maybe doesn't come naturally. And for you, it clearly does. And I think that is what sets you apart from a lot of others, is that you make that personal connection, you reach out to people and let them know how you can support them and help them get to the other side of the mountain that they're on, right? I think
I'm like
that's
I'm walking the aisles of Target, and when I see little children, I'm just like, I wonder how they're sleeping. And then, I always have my son in Target, and we get to talk, and I'm just like, hey, how are they sleeping? I'm a sleep consultant. And my husband, he brought me this little dot card. Have you heard of it?
No, I don't think so.
So it's a card, and you basically like preload all of your information on this website, and folks can literally take the card and tap it to the back of their cell phone, and it takes them to your social media page, your website, to book a call. Because I know that everyone is not into business cards, right? They get lost, but like I literally just go around tapping people's phones whenever they want more information, and all of my information is at their disposal. They can download me as a contact. Like there are so many things to get your business out there. It's called the DOT card, DOT. Look it up.
I'm going to. That is fascinating. I've never heard of that. Okay, I guess I'm living under a rock, but I'm going to look into that as soon as we get off this call. Before we wrap up, I thought I would ask you just like a couple quick fire questions. Are you up for the challenge?
Absolutely. Like Family Feud style.
Yeah, exactly. What's your favorite app that you use for your business? Do you have one?
HoneyBook. Hands down. I love HoneyBook so much.
Okay, that's interesting. So many sleep consultants, especially in our community, are using the HoneyBook platform. I don't use it, but everybody raves about it. I feel like maybe I should get on board finally one day,
That's
right?
amazing. It really is it really is a one-stop shop. It's awesome.
Okay, love that. What about for client calls? Do you Zoom or do you just use the phone?
Zoom. I love getting a peek at the little people. I love it. Zoom for sure.
Okay, that's really nice. I bet it helps to make the personal connection. You know, when they can see your face and they can see that you're just like this nice, friendly person that's going to help
Yes,
them. Yeah, I think that that really helps. I agree.
for sure.
Do you have a favorite age for sleep training?
Oh my gosh, 4 to 6 months.
Okay.
4 to 6 months is just so, they just get it so quickly. Naps are really tricky around that time, but overnight sleep is really great. So 4 to 6 months is my favorite age.
Okay. And do you have a favorite like mantra or saying that you often share with your clients to help them through on the journey?
Yeah, I always tell my clients that I write the plan. It's up to them to work it. And if they do it, it'll work. And I like to say that because I've had so many people like, hey, you know, do you have like a guarantee that this will work? And I'm like, well, I can't guarantee it because I'm not in your home, but I guarantee that if you do what I say or what I recommend, then it'll work for you. And so I always like to say that. And I also like to remind them that not only am I going to be their cheerleader and the motivator, but I'm also going to hold them accountable because they've made an investment in me, because they want a change. I'm going to make sure that they actually see a return on that investment and see real change for their families. So those are the two things that I often tell my clients. And then my business motto is good sleep for one equals good sleep for all, because I really do believe that when we get these little people sleeping, that the whole family, well, it's pretty much the moms. I had this running joke that they should not say sleep like a baby. They should say sleep like a husband. So it's you and your baby will start to sleep like your husband.
Yeah, totally. I've always thought that that whole sleep like a baby thing is funny. I totally agree. Sleep like a husband, 100%.
Yes.
Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me today. This was really fun. Before we sign off, would you share with everybody where they can find you if they want to follow you on Instagram, check out your website?
Absolutely. So please follow us on Instagram at Sweet Sleep Company, SUITESLEEPCO. You can also find us on Facebook at Sweet Sleep Company, and our website is www.sweetsleepco.com.
Perfect. Thank you so much. It was great chatting with you, and I'm going to follow along and cheer you on, and I can't wait to see all that you do in the next year and beyond.
Thank you so much, Jane. Thanks for having me.
Bye-bye.
Bye.